Today I'm going to talk to you about running your own home daycare and the things they don't tell you. One thing about owning a home daycare is sometimes attendance is up, sometimes attendance is down, so you definitely need supplemental income. When attendance is up, things are all good, and then you'll look up, and then there'll be a parent who says, "I don't like the vibe in here." Yeah, I wonder how it's vibing for her now because I know we are the bomb, but I do not beg parents to stay. That's not in my ministry. Begging you to stay for me kind of gives you the upper hand as a parent because it's like what no matter what you do, I want you here. No, I don't. I will go down to 2 kids before I'm begging someone to stay in my establishment because I know the value of our business, of our daycare. I know the value of our daycare. I'm slightest bit confused. I've worked in different daycares and I put a lot into mine. Um, when the attendance is down, still hang in there and still stick to your guns. If you have rules in place like pay me on Friday, don't fold just because you want to hold on to a family because then you'll have children in your daycare or families in your daycare and you're not getting paid for it and you cannot work for free. Um, and parents, oddly enough, I've learned that some parents will try to run up a tab on you, and as if that's not enough, they'll try to get some family to come in too to run up a tab, and then they'll all dip out on you. Don't set yourself up for that one. I recently had that happen to me, and just for and giggles, I asked, so you don't have my money this week. How are you gonna have it next week? And she said, well, I'm gonna work for it. I'm like, ain't that what I was watching your child for? Was for you to work. So now you don't have my money and you want a free week, all because also that you can work. That's what I was doing. So I was holding up my end of the bargain, watching your child while you make money. Because without me watching your child, I don't think you can make money unless you Ubering with them in the car with you, and I've never seen that when I've gotten signed in Uber, or you door dashing with your kid. I guess that might work. Hey, get them out there and have them carry some bags too at 5. I guess I don't know. I think it makes sense for you to drop them off at the daycare and going about your business. It makes it a lot easier on you. But nonetheless, um, getting paid can be an issue if you're not serious about your money, and for sure not letting people stick you because they will. They will. One thing they don't tell you about daycare is sometimes the government does bless us with a little bit of the money. Um, we they'll give out grants and things of that nature. I've been in business for 4 years and I have gotten blessed a few times with a nice amount of money from the government. So when enrollment is down, don't hold on to other parents just because you think, okay, well, they're good and I don't want this person to leave. And don't get hard on yourself. Remember that stuff change. People lose jobs, people move, and I cannot say any of the kids who have ever disenrolled at or families who have ever disenrolled at my center was based on something that I did. It was 90% of the time it was about money. For some reason, some people want free childcare, and my prices are really feasible. So I'm not giving you free childcare. Like no one's giving me anything for free. But hang in there because it does get better. What they don't tell you about daycare is, in school, in public school, any school, in school, older children transfer with records. And from school to school, okay, this child does this, or this child has um, an IEP, or this child which is an individualized educational plan, or education plan for children, and it lists different special needs or different ways that you may have to teach this child, and their background, a little bit of their background. And preschool, daycare, and the like, childcare, whatever you want to call it, early learning centers, all of that, for the most part, you don't get any background on children. It's pretty much what the parents say. And I laugh because of some of the things that the parents may say is, hey, my child is reading. Okay. They're not. Or my child is potty trained. They're not. Or my child doesn't bite. Yes, they do. Or my child doesn't hit. Or, everyone has a perfect angel. And even the ones who who admit to having children with the slightest bit of issues is usually multiply that times 5. So, and I'm not saying that all the children that I get are just like wild or have issues. I've gotten some well-raised children, some really loved and nurtured children, and it shows who's doing what with their children. It shows. Like, kids don't know I'm not supposed to do and say that at school, so they do and say what they're taught or what they have seen. What they don't tell you about daycare is everybody wants their child to be treated special. And it's, for me, I don't treat my children that I birthed special. I do outside of my job, but at work, no, you don't get the toy over these kids. What are you saying? But to think that a teacher is going to hold your baby all day, and I don't even take babies because I can't hold a child all day, or I don't have the manpower to really take care of babies at this point. I've done it and it's never appreciated. What I mean by that is, as soon as the child becomes old enough for the parent to receive cheaper daycare, they're on to the next, and it's like, wow, I'm gonna teach your child all these things that poured into your baby so much, and now that daycare is a little bit cheaper since they're not infantile stage anymore, you're moving on. Okay. And what they won't tell you is that happens. What they don't tell you about home daycare is that some people don't respect your home. Something as simple as shutting doors. Some people don't shut. I don't have a screen door, unfortunately, but it really hasn't been a big deal up until I started taking in families and started my daycare. People will walk in and leave my door wide open. I mean, for a good little man, I just look at them like, okay. But I do have one baby who pretty much solved that for me. He slammed that door on them so quick. I have to laugh, because why do you ain't close it? You don't close your door at home? So what makes it different for you to not want to close my door? I don't know. Some people will try to show up under influence, and because you're a home daycare, they feel like, it ain't no big deal for you. Yes, it is. Lawfully, I can't send you home with your kid if you under the influence. Don't do that. Don't show up again in such a way. What I mean by some people won't respect your house is, I have one lady come in, and her daughter had thrown up profusely, like just a lot, okay? And I cleaned it up, part of the job. sanitized everything that I could in that moment. And through the shuffle, her child's dress got lost. A little Walmart special, no more than $6.97. Okay, whatever. Could have been whatever. Nonetheless, I don't know where your child's dress is, and this lady tells me I'm not going anywhere without her dress. What? Okay, so we close at 6, and at 6 o'clock this becomes my home. So it's a whole different type of set of rules. You're leaving, with or without the dress. Long story short, the dress was found and she left, but I did have to speak with her later to let her know, don't send your child to school in clothes that you cannot afford, or not afford, but don't send your child to school with clothes that you do not want to part with, because there's a possibility that things can get lost or damaged at daycare. So, and for the most part, you say your baby to school in white, they're going home in white. Because, yeah, I get it. I'm somebody's mom, so I do try to value or care about how your child looks when coming and leaving here. But what I can't do is guarantee you that they're always going to go home with all of their things, or they're never going to get dirty, or things won't get ruined. I can't guarantee that. But what they don't tell you is that some people actually expect you to go past, beyond, above and beyond for their children's clothes. And it's like, it's a daycare and this is a child. What they don't tell you about running your own home daycare also is parents' expectations sometimes are wild. Like, some parents want the most for the least amount of money, and they want the most although they're giving the least amount of effort. And to those parents, I say, get a grip. And to teachers who are stressing themselves out trying to go past, above and beyond, stop. Do what you can to the best of your abilities, but you are not a preschool teacher to teach children how to write dissertations. That's not a part of your, shouldn't be. At such an early age, you're more so working on their social skills and their emotional skills, their social skills, and things of that nature, and colors, and the basics. So you don't have to teach a kid how to read in preschool. That's wild. And if you are, add text. What another thing that you might not think about that they don't tell you is some parents have bugs. Yes, in 2024, some parents still got roaches. So here's my some even have bed bugs. Praise God, I've never experienced such a thing in my establishment. Roach, I have seen a roach, and I freaked out because I'm like, okay, we are not in the projects. What are we doing here? And of course, nobody's gonna own up to the roach, but let me tell you who the kid is. The kid that every time they see an ant or any other bug that's like, kill a roach, a roach, a roach. They got roaches. Because why are you saying roach? Why are you saying roach? I got a couple of kids who will, it's a roach. Girl, it's an ant or a bug or whatever, a water roly-poly or whatever. But that was a dead giveaway of who really had the roaches. And if you do end up with a roach, because I seen that one roach, we had to shut stuff down and get it together. No way. Not in this day and age will I have roaches. If you do, y'all know I'm no essential oil queen. If you have roaches or you see a roach in your daycare, I would recommend diffusing in every room patchouli oil. Um, Patchouli oil does something to bugs, chemistry, where it scrambles it or whatever, and they have to leave based on the smell. They can't take the smell, and they won't stay for the smell, and it makes them forget, I guess, where their nest or home is and all that kind of stuff. So I diffuse patchouli oil, and I'll put a recipe on here for other recipes to get rid of bugs. And yeah, I've never seen a roach since. I've seen that one. Maybe I killed it and it left. But what I do know is I definitely diffuse patchouli oil so we wouldn't have to see any more bugs. Another thing that they don't tell you about owning a daycare is your work is never done. As a teacher, period, your work is never done. As a daycare owner, a home daycare owner, there's so much cleaning. There's so much cleaning to do, and yeah. If you can afford to have a maid service, I recommend it because time is not abundant as a teacher. Another thing they don't tell you is that they break things. Kids break things. Some kids have to be taught how to play. You might think teaching them how to learn is one thing, but some children actually have to learn how to play. Like, this is for that, or this is how you use this toy, and yeah, so it's the process in a daycare. And regardless to what you have heard, another thing they don't tell you in the daycare is if you're a good provider and you're really doing your thing, the state actually has your back. What they don't tell you too is that some people will get mad at you for the slightest thing and will call the state on you. I'm glad that I'm not fully petty, even though that's my mom's maiden name. So I feel like at times I have a right to be petty. If that's, we're being petty, okay, let's be petty. But I'm not really petty. But I do keep my ducks in a row. So by me keeping my ducks in a row, you call the state on me, you're gonna feel stupid because there's no outcome from that. I'm not beating kids. It's clean. They're well fed. We have good times up in here. The bad part about getting the state called on you is there's no repercussion for the person who called them, even if they call, just because you're not going to give them a discount, so now they're angry. So another thing that they don't tell you about daycare is you would think that everybody values your service, but some parents actually think that you should never ever take a break. Even though they drop off every morning in their pajamas and they're not going anywhere, they feel like since this is your job and you must like it since it's your job, and don't get it twisted, I love it. Don't mean I want to do this 365, 13 hours a week, because I work 13 hours 13 hours a day. I work 13 hours a day, no big deal. But if you think that I'm not going to take a break, you're insane. What they don't tell you is that some people really don't. Some parents really don't think that you should take a break. Another thing that they don't tell you is pay. You charge what you think you're worth, or you charge what you think it will cost to run the business and make profit. And no one really knows the amount of work that you do. You can't know the amount of work that's done in here, because some parents will still text and call you like you're not at work. Child, I'm working. Yeah, So some parents just won't understand the amount of work that you do. And I don't know if it's your job to tell them or to teach them, because how do I explain to you? You see me. How do I explain to you that I'm working a lot with your child? You see all the papers that go home. You see the amount of work that we do. Yet some parents just don't get it. All in all, I hope this list of things that they don't tell you about running your own daycare can help you decide on ways to run yours more effectively, or to decide if it's something that you really want to do or not. Overall, in running your daycare, make sure that it's the place you deserve to have a daycare that you're comfortable in, that you have fun in too, and that works for you, because ultimately you're taking care of someone else's most prized possession. I hope you learned something from this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share, because sharing is caring, right? Bye.